Most millionaires you have actually met in real life did not look like millionaires. No designer logos, no luxury car in the driveway, no watch worth more than a used sedan. And that is not an accident. That is a strategy. Meanwhile, the person down the street with the leased Mercedes, the rented mansion,
Fake it till you make it, old man.
and the closet full of designer bags, statistically, they are far more likely to be broke than rich. Here is the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to hear. If your financial strategy is built around looking wealthy, you're doing it backwards. The people who actually build wealth understand something that the rest of the world has completely upside down, and once you see it, you will never look at spending the same way again. Welcome back. I am Warren, and on this channel, we talk about the real, unfiltered truths behind building wealth and automating your finances. If you are ready to stop performing wealth and start actually building it, hit that like button right now, subscribe, and let us get into why looking poor might be the smartest financial decision you ever make. Let us start with a concept that should be taught in every school in the country, but almost never is: the difference between looking rich and being rich. These two things are not just different. In many cases, they are direct opposites of each other, and understanding that distinction is one of the most important financial lessons you will ever learn. The Millionaire Next Door Principle. Decades of research into how actual millionaires live consistently reveals the same pattern. The majority of self-made millionaires drive modest, often used vehicles. They live in homes well below what their income could technically afford. They shop with intention, not impulse. And from the outside, many of them are completely indistinguishable from an average middle-class household. Meanwhile, the people who appear the wealthiest, the ones with the flashy cars, the designer wardrobes, the constant vacations broadcast on social media, are frequently leveraged up to their eyeballs in debt. The lifestyle is real. The wealth behind it often is not. They are financing the appearance of success while their actual net worth tells a completely different story. This is not a coincidence. It is a direct result of two fundamentally different relationships with money. One group spends to build wealth, the other spends to display it, and only one of those paths leads somewhere good. Why your brain wants you to look rich. Here is something important to understand. Wanting to look successful is not a personal flaw. It is a deeply wired evolutionary instinct. For most of human history, visible status signals, fine clothing, abundant resources, impressive possessions, actually mattered for survival and social standing. Your brain still operates on those ancient rules, even though the modern financial system has changed completely. The problem is that in today's world, the math has flipped. Visible status symbols used to indicate real resources. Today, with credit cards, financing, and leasing, anyone can project the appearance of wealth regardless of their actual financial position. A car loan does not require you to have money. A credit card does not require you to have money. So the visible signals that used to mean something now mean almost nothing about a person's true financial standing. The hidden cost of looking rich. Let us talk numbers, because this is where the real damage happens. Every single dollar spent projecting wealth is a dollar that is no longer available to build wealth. And because of compound interest, that dollar does not just disappear once. It disappears along with every future dollar it could have grown into. Consider this. A luxury vehicle purchased instead of a reliable, modest one might cost an additional $20,000 to $30,000 up front, plus higher insurance, higher maintenance, and faster depreciation. If that same difference had been invested instead, compounding at a historical market average over 20 or 30 years, it could have grown into hundreds of thousands of dollars. One decision. Two completely different financial futures. Now multiply that pattern across housing, clothing, dining, travel, and dozens of other lifestyle decisions made over decades, and you start to understand why so many high-income earners retire with almost nothing, while people with much more modest incomes retire with substantial wealth. It is not about how much you make. It is about how much of what you make actually gets to stay and grow, instead of being converted into appearance. Looking poor as a negotiation advantage. Here is a layer to this that almost nobody talks about. Looking less wealthy than you actually are creates real, practical financial advantages beyond just saving money on lifestyle spending. When you do not project obvious wealth, you are far less likely to be targeted for predatory financial products, inflated pricing, or aggressive sales tactics designed specifically for people who appear to have money to burn. Salespeople, contractors, and even financial advisors often price their services based on perceived ability to pay. Looking modest can quietly protect you from being charged the wealthy person markup that exists in countless industries, from car dealerships to home renovations to professional services. There is also a social protection element. People who do not broadcast their wealth tend to face fewer requests for loans, fewer awkward conversations about splitting the bill evenly when their financial reality is very different from someone else's, and significantly less pressure to keep up with a social circle's spending habits. Privacy around your finances is not just modesty. It is a genuine financial and psychological advantage. The psychology of quiet wealth. There is a growing recognition, even in mainstream financial culture, around the idea of what is often called quiet wealth or stealth wealth. This is the deliberate practice of maintaining a modest, understated lifestyle, regardless of how much money you actually have. Not out of necessity, but as an intentional strategy. People who practice quiet wealth are not depriving themselves. They are redirecting resources toward what actually matters to them: financial security, investment growth, experiences with genuine meaning, and long-term freedom, instead of pouring resources into status symbols that depreciate the moment you drive them off the lot or take them out of the box. This does not mean you can never enjoy nice things. It means being deliberate and intentional about when and why you spend on visible status, rather than spending reflexively because of social pressure or the unconscious need to prove something to people who, frankly, are not paying your bills and will not be there when those bills come due. How to shift your own strategy starting today. So how do you actually apply this? It starts with a simple but powerful mental shift. Before any significant purchase, ask yourself honestly, am I buying this because it serves my life or because I want other people to perceive me a certain way? That single question, asked consistently, will save most people an enormous amount of money over a lifetime. Next, separate your identity from your possessions. Your worth, your success, and your progress are not measured by what is parked in your driveway or hanging in your closet. They are measured by your net worth, your investments, and your financial freedom, none of which require an audience to be real. Finally, surround yourself with people who understand and respect this mindset. If your social circle equates spending with success, you will constantly feel pressure to keep up. But if you surround yourself with people who value building over performing, that pressure disappears and is replaced by genuine encouragement to keep growing your actual wealth. The people who look the least impressive on the surface are very often the ones quietly building the most impressive financial futures. And the sooner you internalize that, the sooner your own strategy can start working for you instead of against you. Looking rich and being rich are two completely different games, and most people are playing the wrong one without even realizing it. Every dollar spent trying to look successful is a dollar that could have been working quietly in the background, compounding, growing, and building real, lasting financial freedom. The next time you feel the pull to upgrade something just to project an image, pause. Ask yourself what that decision is really costing you. Not just today, but 20 years from now. Because the people who retire wealthy are rarely the ones who look the part along the way. They are the ones who were patient enough to let their net worth speak instead. If this video shifted how you think about wealth and image, drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it before their next big purchase. I am Warren, and I will see you in the next one.